I am excited to welcome Dr. Janice Simmonds-Fisher, the founder of Bioregeneration Integrated Medical Center. Top 3 things you did that made you successful in business and how others can follow in your footsteps.
The real truth is there were so many things, and it's pretty hard to choose 3, but I'm going to start with coaching because I believe that coaching brings a whole umbrella of things. It brings focus, it brings planning, it gives you the tools to execute, and most of all, there's accountability. And it's almost like bringing in a whole team of A players because behind each coach is a trusted and tested system. So I definitely would say to all professionals, we know when to refer to the specialists. The next thing, I like to call it failing fast. And it's the ability to fail and take the lessons, pivot, twist, make the most out of the situation that you have, learn from it. But if you want to continue in business, recovery has to be part of the conversation. And whether you call it resilience, persistence, and not everything that we try will be as successful as we want. And the idea is that once you've learned from it, because honestly, there are some failures that are so devastating that it takes a while. But the idea is that we have to learn, we have to pick up ourselves, we have to take the learning, and then we have to make better next time. I can also say that for me, I call it being focused on the needs of my patients. But the entrepreneur is at the soul of the business. So if you get up from a state of gratitude and you're a wellspring from which people can sort of feel your passion and understand that you care. And if you really love what you do, you love your craft, if you love the people that you serve, I just think it makes it easier. And there is a whole cliche statement that says that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think as entrepreneurs, if you're working from a place of passion, from gratitude, from a place where you care about the services that you offer, it would really make it easier to continue and to do well and to do the hard work that's necessary. Coaching, staying focused on their needs, and failing fast is what I would say for that, Simak.
When you mentioned coaching, one of the key things you mentioned out there is accountability. What is the reason for accountability?
Because I think I'm always sort of a good visionary and I'm not always the one to carry out everything. I will, especially working on the business was new to me. I was just grinding away, seeing patients, and I wasn't building out a business. I didn't have systems. I didn't have a lot of the financial mastery that was needed to take my business to the next level. So I got those tools from my coach. I have an amazing coach, Marcia Wunshai, and it's just an absolute pleasure to learn from her. But I think I was now accountable to getting things done on the business. And I had the tools because I didn't know how to do half of what was required. I was trained as a physician. I didn't have business skills, which, initially didn't occur to me. I was here trying to have a practice and I was just using all my medicine and I really wasn't, I was spending all day long, 6 days a week seeing patients. I didn't have financial mastery, destination mastery. I didn't have the systems and tools so that it could run without me. And I wasn't maximizing the equipment, the resources, the technology that was at hand. So I believe coaching, what I can tell you now is that I had a business before coaching and after coaching, and they look nothing the same. When I introduced our coach to our team when we did our staff alignment last year, I actually said to the team that under Marcia Wunshai's coaching, we were able to 30x our bottom line. And that's because we had a lot of potential, we had a lot of growth. We really weren't tapping into a lot of the opportunities that were available. And even where we saw it, we didn't know how to really strategize and go forward. So coaching was single-handedly just one of the most important things. And I would say that for all professionals, physicians, engineers, lawyers, doesn't matter. We are skilled at a craft, and if we are neurosurgeons, it doesn't allow us to do to do heart surgery, because, we have to recognize that business comes with its own set of skills, and we really have to upskill if we're going to also be entrepreneurs.
Can you share some of the most innovative solutions you have recently implemented?
We have, let's say, with stem cells. We started off with platelets, then we were able to get stem cells from bone marrow, fat, or blood. And then we moved on to exosomes, which you didn't have to harvest from the patients, which are like concentrated growth factors for repair. So as we moved up the ladder, we got better at that. Then we have these peptides. And the peptides can, also be used in pain management. We have peptides to enhance sexuality, whether it's function, enjoyment. We have peptides to just give people energy, better sleep. And there are peptides that our own bodies make. Of course, they are synthesized commercially, but I think the ability to communicate to the cell the way it naturally recognizes and uses. We have low-intensity shockwave therapy that we use to create new blood vessels for men who have vascular need in sexual function. If we look at our weight loss situations, we can measure now the body composition, and we can tell you if you're losing weight from muscle, from fat, because we have a pound value. And we can use whether it's peptides or nutrients to optimize weight loss from fat, preserving muscles, and we can use things to build muscle, which is going to build metabolic rate. And we can do breath analysis studies now, and we can look at your exercise zones and say, well, CMAC, you are going to burn in zone 2, which is where you burn fat, between heart rate of 96 and 102. I want you to exercise at that heart rate for 45 minutes. Above and below that, you're just burning carbs. So we can, with equipment and technology, get very personalized. We can look at your genomics and say, boy, you can use all of the medications I've set this statin, because you don't have the enzyme to break that down, and we don't have to guess which ones you can use. So between the genomics, the peptides, the breath analysis, the body composition, we go beyond the scale, we go beyond the protocols to really personalize it for patients. And I think those technology that are coming out are helping us to really do good by each person in a very scientific way.
And that's a wrap for today's epic conversation here on Epic Entrepreneurs. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, share it, or hit that bell. But until next time, let's make sure you keep dreaming, take massive action, and stay epic.